Hello people of the internets. Today's review is on special request. I got a copy of the game Bastion from Mplate and told me I should probably check out this cool indie game. Well, here are my thoughts on it. The moment I pressed start, the game already had me hooked. The music on the start menu is fantastic, impressive to say the least. It's no surprise that this game got a soundtrack release shortly after. The graphics in this game are also really well done. They're clear, they're crisp, they're bright and colorful despite the somber mood set by the music. Everything is clearly indicated. You can tell the foreground from the background. You can tell what's supposed to be attackable, what's not supposed to be attackable. Everything's very clear and concise. As far as storytelling goes, I think they succeeded. It may not be a very long story, but it is a very intricate one with plot twists and turns, and you never know where it's gonna go, and it always keeps you on your toes till the very last minute of the game. One reason the storytelling in this game works so well is the story is being told as you're playing it.
Ground forms up under his feet as it pointing the way. He don't stop to wonder why. And then he falls to his death. I'm just fooling.
An in-game narrator will comment on all your actions that you do, or how you play the game, or how you fight, or if you fall off a cliff. It's very interesting, and the dialogue is not repetitive.
He cuts down every stab weed like there's gonna be a prize for it.
Another feature this game has to offer is so many collectibles. If you're like me, OCD, have to collect everything, you're gonna love it. Otherwise, you're probably gonna ignore it and hate it and move on. But then you can upgrade your weapons several times. In fact, you can even collect idols for gods you can worship. You can have 2 weapons at a time, so you have combinations to do. And, surprise, some of these collectibles actually serve a purpose. Whoa! Now, like all games, this game is not perfect. I mean, it's an indie game. It was made by 7 people from the company Supergiants. The normal mode has a limited continues, and I haven't seen a game with limited continues since, I want to say since NES, as in the home, since an NES or the home console. No, I haven't seen a game with limited continues since like the 80s, when they had to type in like passwords and stuff to go back into your game. I haven't seen a game with limited continues since the 80s, and that's because they didn't have the technology to properly... I haven't seen a game with limited continues since like the 80s, or maybe early 90s when you have those arcade games with the continues, so you can keep putting money in every time you get a continue. I feel that was unnecessary. I know it's more challenging to have a continue, but if you think about it, really, who's gonna stop the game right there? No, I don't want to continue. Like, of course they're going to continue. The game, when you die, if you don't use your continue, it starts you back from the previous stage, and that's fine. But the fact that there is a continue, or a limited continue, means you start closer that time. And the fact that that's something that can be taken away from you, that just makes it worse. Basically, my experience with this game has been a fairly pleasant one. Especially since I got it for free. Yay! I really loved the music in this game. The singing in this game was top-notch. I love the music in this game. And also, the graphics were fairly enjoyable too. They're very pretty and colorful. The fighting mechanic got a tiny bit repetitive, but it was quickly changed because they give you so many weapons. You almost could change a weapon per level. If I had to give this game a rating, I would give it an 8 out of 10. It's really good and you should check it out. At least just play it the one time to get the story and voice acting and music and everything that's awesome about it. If it's not your thing, I understand. There are a few little quirky bits with it, especially since it was not made by a whole team and it's not exactly polished, but it's still pretty fantastic. So go check it out today.